using the Hotel reimbursement rate and per diem lookup tool. In December of 2023, it was announced by the Governor's Travel Control Board that the reimbursement rates for both hotels and per diem would be updated to follow the GSA-established federal guidelines. This new reimbursement rate structure was implemented for both in-state and out-of-state travel. Due to the complexity of the reimbursement rates, which vary by location and month, the Hotel reimbursement rate and per diem lookup tool was created. It's an easy way to quickly and accurately search for the specific rates for both hotel and per diem. The traveler only needs to know the zip code for the location that they will be traveling to in order to obtain the correct rates. The lookup tool is built using Excel as a front end, and the GSA provided developers zip code tables. The most accurate rates can be found using a zip code, which can be entered in the yellow field on the Excel table. In our example, we'll enter the zip code for Carbondale, Illinois or 62901 in the yellow search field on the Excel table. Then hit Enter to begin the search. The results should populate on screen immediately. Remember, this tool can search zip codes nationwide and is used to look up rates for both in-state and out-of-state stays. The maximum allowable hotel reimbursement nightly rates not including taxes will be returned in the two-toned blue fields. Please be aware that hotel rates vary by location and month. It's the traveler's responsibility to double-check hotel rates prior to making any reservations. One thing to be aware of when traveling: travel dates that span months may have one or more hotel rates depending on location. In a second example, we'll use the zip code for Mundelein, Illinois or 60060. This is one of the Chicago suburbs. Notice how the rate changes based on the month. The nightly hotel rates not including taxes may vary by month and location. The dark green fields return the maximum eligible per diem rate and the calculated quarterly rate, which is used to determine the maximum allowable amount a traveler is due for their first and last travel day. The maximum eligible per diem rate is determined by subtracting $5 from the GSA provided total. The department was advised by the Governor's Travel Control Board that the GSA rate included a daily incidental expense of $5, which would not be used by the state of Illinois. In addition, the state would not be following the GSA 75% per day rule for per diem on the first and last travel day and should continue to use the quarterly method for calculation of the maximum eligible per diem on the first and last travel day. The light green fields display any meal allowance amounts that the traveler may be eligible for when they are following established guidelines for meal allowances. The value returned may also be used as a deduction guideline for any conference-provided meals, which should be removed from the maximum eligible per diem or meal allowance total for that specific day. Meal allowances and per diem totals may not be intermixed. Lunch is not a reimbursable expense. The lunch value is only included for calculation of the maximum quarterly per diem or for a conference-provided meal deduction. When completing a BSPE 600 for travel, under Attachment B, you will need to include the time you left from your initial location for travel and the time you returned from your travel back to your initial starting point. The entered times will ensure you are receiving the correct per diem for your first and last travel day and also assist the Bureau of Safety Programs and Engineering in accurately processing your travel reimbursement in a timely manner. In our example, John Doe left from his primary work location to travel to Springfield, Illinois, zip code 62704 at 1 p.m. on January 10, 2024. For his first day of his in-state trip, he is eligible for 2 quarters of per diem, $13.50 per quarter, or $27. On January 11, 2024, John Doe returned to his primary work location at 5 p.m. where he is eligible for 3 quarters per diem, $13.50 per quarter, or $40.50. Quarter calculations are as follows. Midnight to 5:59 a.m. is the first quarter. 6 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. is the second quarter. Noon to 5:59 p.m. is the third quarter. 6 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. is the fourth quarter. For departure and/or arrival times any time during the quarter, the traveler is eligible for the entire quarter's per diem. However, if the traveler arrives right on the quarter break, the traveler would not be eligible for the next quarter. If during your travel, breakfast, lunch, or dinner is provided, then you are required to deduct any provided meals from your daily per diem based on your primary destination. For this example, we are using the 62704 zip code, and if any meals were provided during the travel, you would reduce the per diem as follows. Breakfast, a $13 deduction. Lunch, would be a $15 deduction. Dinner, would be a $26 deduction. Please refer to the December 5, 2023, Travel Notice Memo or contact your assigned Safety Grant Administrator if you have any questions regarding per diem or hotel stays for your grant-related travels.